know I got the receipts, girl. You know I got the receipts. I told him to sit down. I'm going live. I have 18 seconds. Welcome back to the Sweet Pea Diaries. It's your girl Sweet Pea, and I am back with another video. If you are a returning subscriber, welcome back to my channel. And if you are a new subscriber, welcome to the Sweet Pea Diaries. Be sure to like this video, share this video, but most importantly, be sure to subscribe to the channel. All right, I'm so sorry, you guys. I am late. I had to push it back an hour because I was gathering my tea. I was getting my paperwork together, and you know, I always got to make sure my presentation is fabulous. So it was a lot going on, my audio and just stuff. So I apologize for pushing it back an hour, but you know, we got to make sure things are all good around here. So who do we have in the chat? Woo! I see y'all are getting started already. No name, Vite a la mierda. I hope I said that. Vete a la mierda. Jerica James, Renee P, Orbo Sexy, Chattas, Chattas S, Sabrina Creations, my girl Channel Chatter, Life with the Leonard Family, Mrs. Jordan, Soleil 846, Do the Right Thing, Sonia Maybea, Black Bonnie T, Cocoa Butter Barbie, and the official Kingpin, Susie Davis. Hey you guys, welcome to the Sweet Pea Diaries. My mods, please be on post because as always when we talk about this topic, people get a little you know, rambunctious and they start doing the things. We will block you, we will delete you. We do want you to have an opinion, and we encourage healthy dialogue, but we don't want the disrespect, we don't want the fighting. We don't want, name calling and all that. So we will block you and get you out of here quickly. Now, a quick disclaimer before we get started. Barbz, all right? Barbz, Nicki Minaj supporters, people that really don't like this case. I mean, you don't have to be a Nicki Minaj supporter. Please be respectful. We all can agree to disagree. Everything is about an opinion. It's all an opinion. At this point, we have no idea what the outcome of this case is going to be. This is all commentary. It's based off of court documents, yes, but it's all commentary. So please be respectful. If you do not like what I'm saying, if you are new to this channel and you join for other reasons, please, if you don't like this topic, don't unsubscribe. Just go ahead and catch us on the next video. Catch us when we're doing commentary on subject matter that you prefer. If this is not your thing, just leave. You don't have to be disrespectful, and we don't have to go at it in the chat, all right? Because I understand that everyone feels some kind of way about whoever they support. But when you support someone genuinely, you just really give them the truth. You don't just be like a mob and a gang just because you like someone. Y'all can like Nicki Minaj, but you can also respect people's opinions, all right? So with that said, let's get started. Y'all still coming on in? Come on in, come on in, come on in the room, come on in the room. Because we do know that there have been updates. We went over, now we know back on January 12th, we know that Jennifer, she voluntarily dismissed her case against Nicki Minaj for jurisdiction reasons. Now, I am going to be looking down every now and then. Hey, Lady Blue Boss Up, I see you. Hey, Vanderveer, I see you guys coming in. Hardcore Hell, hey, girl. Oh, girl, I'm sorry. Hardcore Hall. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Miss Hall. I see everybody coming in. Y'all go ahead and hey, Miss Nikki Robinson. Y'all come on in. Susie Davis. Beautiful Days. Yes, y'all. Come on in and sit down, okay? Now, back on January 12th, we know that Jennifer, she dismissed her case against her lawsuit against Nicki Minaj because of the jurisdiction. There was some argument in the courts whether or not Nicki could be sued in the state of New York because she doesn't live there. There's really no jurisdiction. She doesn't own properties there. She doesn't do business there. So when you have jurisdiction in your lawsuit, there has to be something to tie the person to the state that you're suing them in. All right. But we also had other jurisdictions, Georgia and California, were on these lawsuits, but it was actually for, I believe, Kenneth and Jenn's jurisdiction is Georgia. So the whole New York and the jurisdiction reason was because of the New York situation. Now, Nicki Minaj, there was a reason for Tyrone and Jennifer's attorneys filing in the state of New York using that jurisdiction because Kenneth has a home in New York. Nicki and Kenneth are legally married. He has a home in New York. Nicki Minaj is a New York-based artist, and she has been sued in the past and has cases in New York. So that was a reason amongst, others as to why Tyrone used that jurisdiction as well for Nicki Minaj. And that's what's stated in the court documents. Now, we do know that she dismissed the case on the 12th. Then we had an attorney that withdrew from Jennifer's team. Some were speculating that it was Tyrone Blackburn. It was not. It was the female attorney, Tara Fainza, and she has offices across the country: New York, Delaware, Florida. She had New Jersey. She has offices. They are a part of a firm, and they have offices in other areas. Now, she withdrew from the case, and this is the firm that she represents. She had never filed any motions on behalf of Jennifer. She had only, went down to the court and filed a letter of intent that she was standing as an attorney on the case. But she's from a completely different law firm. It was an entire different set of attorneys at that law firm. So withdrawing from the case did not hurt Jenn in any way because this attorney never really acted on behalf of Jennifer at any time. She's never issued any paperwork. So her withdrawing was not a big deal. I don't know why this is even a topic that an attorney withdrew. So what? Jenn has a team of attorneys. All right. Now, this could have been for jurisdiction reasons as well. It could be that she's not licensed to practice in the state of California. Okay. That could be a reason why she asked to be removed from the lawsuit. She can't practice in a state where they intend to file a lawsuit. So I might as well withdraw. And the judge on the 18th actually granted that request. All right. So we do know that there are jurisdictional reasons as to why they decided to withdraw from New York, and they are intending to sue in California. They are intending to pick this lawsuit right back up where it's leaving off. But you guys have to realize on the 20th, they had a Zoom hearing regarding the default judgment that still is in existence for Kenneth Petty. We know that Nicki and Kenny were slow, never, responded to the lawsuit. They were slow to respond, late to respond. In fact, still have not legally responded what their intent is on this lawsuit. They're filing other type of motions, but no actual intent on what their intentions are for this lawsuit. They had a deadline in which to respond, and they did not. So Tyrone and Jennifer's attorneys, they went down to the court and they were granted a default judgment on behalf of Kenneth Petty. Okay, Nicki Minaj, no, they did not grant that, but for Kenneth Petty, they granted and issued a certificate of default. Now what that means is that they're asking the judge to rule in Jenn's favor and issue her what her rule in her favor on this lawsuit, because he was late. So when you don't respond and you're late, you can win by default. But the argument is that this is a substantial lawsuit financially, and why would we just want to throw the towel in? That's the argument from Nicki Minaj's and Kenneth's court. But you have to understand, from their perspective, those two are not represented by the same attorneys. They're represented by different attorneys, and they each carry different charges. In this lawsuit, Jenn is not suing Nicki Minaj for the incident that happened in '94. Nicki is not being sued or tied to any of those events. She is being sued for aiding and abetting harassment indirectly and directly. So the claims and the allegations that are attached to the '94 situation and whatever is in the lawsuit legally pertaining to that, Nicki is not connected with that. Okay, so I don't know why people don't make that distinction. This lawsuit is very specific, and the charges and the allegations and the claims are specific to each party. All right, which jurisdiction, that's why jurisdiction also comes into play. All right, so as this has been transpiring, the attorneys, we've seen from the beginning that they have discrepancies, that they really just cannot communicate. All right, and we're learning that Judd Bernstein, who is the attorney of Nicki Minaj, he seems to be of the same characteristics and caliber that is being alleged in this lawsuit as it pertains to Nicki Minaj. Harassment, bullying, very disrespectful. In fact, Judd has at least 10 sanctions that have been alleged and imposed upon him from 2000, as early as 1990 to 2018. Okay, he has been, just his conduct and his nature, he's just from what the paperwork shows, he's just a bully, and his nature is he's just very difficult and hard to work with. Okay, and it shows. it shows. He's issuing sanctions, proposed sanctions. Now, when we get into this whole sanction situation, I keep telling people attorneys cannot issue sanctions. The court has to approve any sanction or any motion, anything that you put before the court. You have to get that approved, and the judge has to sign off on that. So these sanctions, they don't have any, relevancy. They don't come with any detail as to what he's actually asking that they be sanctioned for, So, which is why there haven't been any sanctions granted. There are no sanctions. No one's been sanctioned. Jenn's team, lawyers, there have not been any sanctions. And the whole narrative that Jenn didn't have any evidence, that's why her case, she voluntarily dismissed her case because she didn't have evidence. And that's why they Judd wants to file sanctions because of no evidence. That is not true, all right? Not true. Now, Tisnengall and Associates on January 24th, this is the actual attorneys for Jennifer, all right? They went before the judge and they sent a letter on behalf of their team in their defense because they are fed up with the tactics and the disposition of Judd Bernstein and his partner, all right? Stephen wrote this letter, Stephen Gordon, on behalf of Jennifer. He is working with Tyrone on this case, and he is fed up with the way and the approach of Judd Bernstein. He's stating that Judd has submitted 5 motions for sanctions that are frivolous. His sanctions are because he believes that Jenn's case is frivolous and that it has no merit. Judd has went to the courts and has asked that sanctions be imposed, but really doesn't give the basis for stating that Jenn's case is frivolous, all right? Because of his communication style in emails, and we're going to go over those emails, because of his communication style, Stephen said, you know what? I'm not going to communicate with you via email anymore, personally and directly. I want you to go through the court in order to communicate to me and my team. Since then, he still went on to receive 12 more emails from Judd, even after asking, please do not contact me or my team directly. Please go through the courts with any communication. But he still continued to email him afterwards. All right. Stephen even stated that his treatment, personally, Mr. Bernstein and Stephen, was so vile that he considered removing himself from the case representing Jenn, because it had even went so far as to Mr. Bernstein pulling Stephen's wife into this situation. She has nothing to do with this, but he pulled her wife into that, and his wife into that. And we're going to get into details exactly how he felt threatened and why he would bring his wife into it, because he specifically says here that he was actually lying and saying that the wife waived her marital communications privileges. And anytime a marital communication privilege is waived, that means any private conversations that Stephen may have had with his wife about this case or anything related to this case or past cases or whatever, if she waives that privilege, then she can be called to testify, or any statement she's made can be brought in as evidence. What she would have to say or what any statements she's made. I mean, I don't understand why that would be relevant. All right, but we're going to talk about that in detail because we have an email and we have a statement as to exactly what Judd actually did, showing that he was trying to bring in statements from the wife. All right, but it's a lot to unpack, so you guys just bear with me because I got a lot of notes and I'm trying to refer to them and stay the course and just do it all in order because it's a lot. And, rather than me just get up here and give my opinion, I really always like to show receipts and I like to show you exactly what has been going on in court as it pertains to the paperwork. So it takes a lot to do that, so just bear with me. Now, as I stated, these two have been going back and forth. These two teams have been going back and forth in emails, and a lot of these emails are not known to the public. Some people have access to them, and some people do not. Some people have referenced, that it's been a bunch of back and forth. But again, I like to let you see exactly what's been going on. So Tara, Tara Fanza, before she actually withdrew from the case, she reached out to Judd and the team, and she said, "Happy New Year. Please note that we request to know if you're planning to file the exhibit Jennifer Hough PDF redacted the same as in the motion emailed to us on December 8th. If so, aside from the fact that the document is inadmissible, unverified hearsay. If the exhibit is the same as what was attached on December 8th, we have no objection other than hearsay. Kindly please confirm. This case alleges your clients engaged in conduct which threatened Ms. Hough's safety and that her family, including minor and adult children. Public filing of the majority of the information in that PDF is exceptionally dangerous. We draw to your attention that a fan of Ms. Minaj publicized one of Ms. Hough's former addresses, causing her to move immediately. Previously, as in the complaint, Ms. Minaj, Mr. Petty's associates are alleged to have come to Ms. Hough's residential locations, causing her to fear for her life. Respectfully, we understand your clients disagree, but for the sake of both Ms. Hough and innocent third-party safety, this exhibit should be under seal and also redacted. The names Jennifer and or Hough are relatively common. Some information could relate to others. Since Ms. Hough lived with multiple family members in the past, their safety unnecessarily becomes an issue if prior residential addresses are included. On a separate note, we are deeply saddened to learn of the horrific passing of Angela Kowalski at violent ends and extend our sincere condolences. I don't know who Angela is, but honey, Tara was giving her condolences even through this mess. She's still being proper and decent. Now, what this email is basically saying, this piece of evidence that you want to, enter in as an exhibit, is it this attachment? Okay. If it is, we're going to object as hearsay. We don't believe that this is admissible. It should not be admissible based off of the hearsay clause. And additionally, information obtained in this exhibit is dangerous because it exposes Jennifer. All right. It exposes her, so we would like it sealed. And we're going to show exactly what happens when people release information. So she says, personal information becomes public. There's no way to control how others will use it. For example, we have no way of knowing of any of the third parties in that report if they have people who may want to harm them. Those portions of the report are not relevant to this case, but for the sake of safety, any information that could reach third parties should be filed under seal. We believe that this report is irrelevant to the motion for judicial default and poses a substantial risk to Ms. Hough and third parties. Therefore, we respectfully assert that this exhibit should be filed under seal. This solution presents no prejudice to your clients. Also, references to this exhibit should be cleansed of personal information, which could bring harm to Ms. Hough or others. There are other objections which we do not waive or address here, but note that any information beyond attempting to verify telephone numbers should be redacted. We started with the option of you submitting the exhibit as previously sent to us. Otherwise, we propose the option of substantial redactions of third parties and other information, as well as filing under seal. So what she's saying is, please remove private and personal information of third parties because they have nothing to do with this case, and we don't know if people would try to harm them based off of the fact that they are connected to Jennifer. So please remove. If you're not going to redact it, please seal this document, because they know that people are coming on Pacer and we're doing reviews. Anybody can look at this paperwork and you can gather people's addresses. That what they're referring to is that LexisNexis report as well. That's one of those that had phone numbers on it, addresses, because they were trying to verify information. So they're saying a phone number, okay, that's not so bad. But when you get into addresses, showing people's names, connecting them with addresses, that's dangerous. We don't know what her fans are willing to do and what lengths they would go to protect Nicki Minaj. All right. So that's basically where they're going with that. So then there's no response. This was sent on December 31st. There's no response to that. However, Judd responds. He responds on January 12th when he learns that they dropped the case. All right. When he learned that Jenn had voluntarily dropped the case. Hold on, you guys. Give me one moment. Someone's at my door. Give me 1 second. Child, how you just gonna come here asking to do some work and you were supposed to be here on last week? Like, no, not today, sir. You just gonna pop up, like I called for someone to do something with something in my bathroom, and he was supposed to come here on Wednesday. Sir, it's Saturday. Like, no, All right, so let's get back to this. Okay, so this is an email that they received from Judd, okay? And basically showing his braggadocious tendencies and him gloating in the fact that they dismissed the case against Nicki. So he says, counsel, I am pleased to see that you and Ms. Hough have come to your senses and have dismissed this appalling lawsuit against Nicki Minaj, which has inexcusably wasted my time and her money over the past 3 months. In my view, your conduct in pursuing this case against Nicki represents the worst of our legal system. Bottom-feeding lawyers who pursue frivolous actions against a celebrity, assuming that they will be paid off if they throw up enough dirt. As I told you during our one virtual meeting, Nicki would never pay a dime to your client. I was, let's get to the next one. I was correct. You ultimately were forced to surrender without you or your client receiving a penny. In all events, while your dismissal of the amended complaint may be the end of your efforts to extort Nicki into a settlement, it is just the beginning of Nicki's and my efforts to make you pay for your disgraceful conduct with both money and, if the courts recommends it, disciplinary sanctions. You forced my client to spend over $300,000 in fees to defend a case which even my labradoodle, Gracie, could see was frivolous on both the facts and the law. While you availed yourself of Rule 11 safe harbor provision to avoid having to defend against the sanctions motion with which I served you on Sunday, there are other Rule 11 motions which I served in 2021 and which I now intend to file. Further, I intend to seek sanctions against all of you pursuant 1927 and or the court's inherent power. Accordingly, I would like to agree upon a schedule for those motions, which we could then submit to the court. I propose the following. February 2nd, 2021, our motion. February 23rd, 2021, your answering papers. March 9th, 2021, our reply. And he actually meant 2022. It was the trying to curse them out, talk trash, but still needing to submit a schedule for motions, not even having the dates correct. Okay? But his conduct and his verbiage and the way he communicates with Tyrone and Stephen is very unprofessional, to say the least. He called them bottom feeders, okay? He called them bottom feeders and alluded that they were trying to extort Nicki Minaj out of money and extort her into a settlement. So this just goes to show you that her lawyer, it's giving the same type of personality that Nicki Minaj displays, and her character is the same type that is displayed in her attorney. So no wonder why she would hire him and they would get along. I mean, they're the same type of personality. All right. So after that letter, email, then Stephen replies and follows up, because that verbiage and language is very aggressive. All right. You generally don't see attorneys speaking to each other in that way, but that just goes to show you the climate, their relationship, and what those two have going on is very volatile, and it has not been a working relationship. They have not been able to work together during the time that they were involved in this lawsuit. This shows that. All right. So then Stephen comes in. Stephen says, counselor. He's addressing Judd. All right. This is directly from Stephen Gordon, and he CC'd Tyrone and the rest of the crew. He says, counselor, please address all communications with me or anyone at my firm through the court. If we receive another threatening email, we will definitely be forced to send it and all of the other threatening emails to the disciplinary committee, including your January 10th email in which you threatened allegations of criminal conduct to coerce us into dropping a civil case. Coerce. And these are notwithstanding the personal causes of action that I have against you. So now Stephen is stating here that there was an email that was sent from Judd to them on January 10th. Now, mind you, they dropped the lawsuit on the 12th, okay? So they sent threatening emails, threatening them with disciplinary action, and they coerced them into dropping the civil case. So it says, including your January 10th email in which you threatened allegations of criminal conduct to coerce us into dropping a civil case. So whatever was going on between these two parties, Judd thought that he got them to withdraw from this case because of his threatening tactics and whatever he was, sound like blackmail to me. You know, I've got this on you. You didn't participate in this way, so we are going to seek disciplinary actions and sanctions against you if your client doesn't drop her case. All right. But now we know, in further reading documentation, that they did not drop the case because of that. They actually dropped the case because of jurisdictional issues. Okay. It had nothing to do with she didn't have evidence. It had to do with jurisdiction issues. And in this letter to the court, they state that they intend to file the lawsuit in California. All right. They intend to file this lawsuit in California. So this just shows that whatever information that Jenn has, the harassment allegations, that evidence is strong enough for her team of attorneys to feel as though they can proceed in another state. All right. Now, in this document, they also state that Judd wanted proof. You keep alleging that my client is a part of the Mac gang. My client is a part of the Make Bella gang. Well, we need proof. I mean, where is your proof that my client is involved in this gang activity? Well, they said, well, here's your client throwing up gang signs. She's throwing up the same gang signs, looks like an M to me, or whatever that is supposed to be. Looks like the same gang sign that her husband throws up whenever he wants to reference gang activity, gang affiliations, same gang sign. So they submitted this as evidence, Exhibit A, showing that Nicki Minaj also threw up this gang sign. Why, if you're not a part or affiliated with that gang, why would you be throwing up a gang sign? So that's why they issued this as an exhibit. All right. But even through all of this documentation, I wanted to point out that they have been stating that, making it a point to show the character of the Barbz and Nicki Minaj's fans, all right? And because of this lawsuit, their thoughts and how they feel that Jenn is lying, that it's a money grab, it's an opportunity, she's just trying to get money out of this, right? And so Tyrone and Steven, they're trying to show that this is dangerous. You know, you're putting people's information out here, and we don't know how far these fans are willing to go. But I'm going to show you guys something. You know how you'll DM your celebrities that you don't like and you threaten them and you know, oh, but it's just social media. Well, when these things get into court, do you not think that you're going to be these threatening DMs and what you've been doing online, that it's not going to make its way into court? Well, let me show you. Okay? Let me show you. Now, these are DMs from people to Jenn. These have been submitted. These have been submitted as evidence. You're just a thief trying to make money off Nicki Minaj and Kenneth's name. These are people that you don't know. Big Medusa _1. These are people, Jenn don't know these people. They're just coming out of nowhere in her DM threatening her. Big Medusa. Then we have, who's next? Who's up next? Then we have Jaden. You are effing sick. Me and 10K other people just watched Black T Blog's video, and the receipts are there, honey. You talking to your cousins. We about to eat. And even that phone call and I did with Jason Lee. It's all a matter of time before you get exposed. At Kino Putia, it's up. your ass. You just don't know it yet. Nothing regarding the U.S. Marshals was mentioned in your interview, and you're basically just contradicting yourself. Nicki is not dumb and works with the Kardashian lawyers. You are sick. You realize Ken has moved on and is actually making a bag for himself, and now you just want a piece of it too. Even your friend Black wasn't he on the lawsuit? The guy is playing you, dumbass. Watch and see. That's another person that she does not know that's sending her a DM. I mean, look how long. Just go on, just go on, just typing your life away to people that you don't know. Caramel Beauty, you really got issues. I'ma pray for you. These are as exhibits. These are entered in as evidence. People that you don't know DMing you. You've made your way into a lawsuit. Hope you die, bitch. Clout chaser, you will not get away with it. Don't go against Nicki. Impossible. Hope you die, bitch. Clout chaser, leave me alone. That's an awful thing to say to someone you don't know, and that's Jenn. I'ma pray for you, and FYI, I'm not bothering anybody, just speaking facts. You mad he's married to a millionaire. Now you want money, you clown ass. You'll be exposed. Don't come for my queen and lying on her name. What? Don't come for your queen lying on her name. You don't know Nicki Minaj. She does not know you. This is how delusional these people are. You will suffer. God doesn't like dirty. I've contacted the worst witches I could find. You will suffer. Nicki Minaj is my life. How dare you try to come for her hard work? I will go to hell and burn for Nicki. You clout chasing actor, money hungry, ugly bitch. Are you serious? This woman said she will go to hell and burn for Nicki Minaj. She says, if you try to come for her hard work, I've already contacted the worst witches. These are entered in as exhibits. This is evidence. This is what Jenn has submitted showing how serious this is. You got random people that you don't know saying that they are willing to die, willing to go to hell for Nicki Minaj. They're willing to risk it all and do anything. You don't know what people are capable of doing out here. So you have my address. You have information of Jenn's published. And that's why they're asking for things to be sealed. Because of this right here. And a lot of you don't take this serious. A lot of people say it's just social media. No. You don't know what goes on in people's minds. This one is from Luke. Weird ass bitch for lying. Can't wait till you get clocked in that effing courtroom, bitch. Lie on Nicki's name and you can get sued. You're going to get sued. Remember that? Remember the message you sent to your cousin? So fucking evil and nasty for using this story for some money from Nicki. This shit happened 30 years ago and he served his time. And you said that too. Nobody harassing you. Go feed your fucking kids, you weird ass bitch. Go feed your fucking kids, you weird ass bitch. Now, these are people that she does not know. These are fans of Nicki Minaj. These are the Barbz. This is the climate. All right. So this is harassment. Indirectly, indirectly. These people are harassing you on behalf of Nicki Minaj. That is why she entered this as evidence. If this ain't evidence, I don't know what else is. This would not be a problem if it wasn't for Nicki Minaj, if it was not for Jenn being in a lawsuit with Nicki Minaj. So that's definitely harassment, indirectly and directly. Yes, Nicki Minaj does not know these fans. She's not telling them to go and harass Jenn, but is she telling them to stop? Has she come out on her platform and said, don't harass Jennifer Hough? We are in a lawsuit. She doesn't, deserve to be bullied and cyber stalked. Yes, we have issues, but please do not threaten to harm her or her family or her children. Has she come out and said any of that? Has she come out and said she denounces bullying? She doesn't condone hate or violence? No. All right. You have to watch what people do, not what they say. You have to watch their actions. Okay. I don't have anything to do with this. These are, I don't know these people. Yes, but they're your fans. These people are saying they're willing to die. They're willing to go lose it all, risk it all, burn in hell for Nicki Minaj. Let me see what y'all saying in the chat. Nicki grooms them all the time. She tells them, I only get to do this because of y'all, literally. Okay. Put it in the trash. All right. Nicki's fans are a menace to society. This is some foolishness. All right. Children. They're demons. Stupid is as stupid is. Why don't you ask rich Nicki Minaj for your needs and see what you get, right? Only Shamari says, for real, because if I'm Jenn, I'm popping caps and all of them bugged out Barbs if they ever try to roll up on me. Jerica James says, nope, she encourages it. Nicki never tells her fans to stop. Nicki be sending her fans to harass those she wants to hurt. Just like Kenneth gave Black Nicki's number but did not want him to talk to Jennifer. Yeah, right. Okay, so, yeah, these are... these are DMs that Jenn submitted as evidence to show the climate and show exactly what she's up against. All right. But like I said, the lawyer is the same way. He's giving same vibes because this is another letter that had to be written by Stephen yet again. Dear Judge, we are counsel to plaintiff Jennifer Hough in the above referenced matter. I'm writing in response to the defense counsel docket entry 54. This dates off, he's stating, I just don't really like to read everything because it's just too much. I'm just going to outline it. He's basically saying, I want to bring to the court's attention the hypocritical claim by Mr. Bernstein that the legitimate issues raised in the docket were outrageous. Throughout these proceedings, Mr. Bernstein has taken residency in sewers of the legal profession. He has behaved unethical to the model rules of professional conduct. But this should come as no surprise since he has been on the receiving end of over 10 sanction motions dating back to the early 1990s and as recent as 2018. Now, get into this right here. An example of his deplorable behavior stems from his sick obsession with Mr. Gordon's wife. Mr. Bernstein went scummaging through the comments section of YouTube posts in search of comments posted by Mrs. Gordon. Not only is his act cyber stalking, but it's creepy. It was also weird and beneath the dignity of his profession. Finally, this proposed motion is nothing more than a billing exercise that serves no legitimate purpose. Due to the secondhand embarrassment plaintiff feels from this misguided abuse of process, plaintiff would like to apologize to the court in advance for defendant wasting the court's time. So they're saying that Judd, so what he did, he tried to blackmail Stephen, all right? This is why Stephen wanted, he said he considered being removed from this case as well because he felt threatened. He felt that his family's safety and his own, he felt threatened. Because what Judd had attempted to do, he told Stephen that his wife had waived her premarital communications privilege, as I stated earlier. that she waived that. So that means whatever conversations or whatever her and Stephen have talked about, if she waives that privilege, then Judge can use it in court or he can use it against them. So that's why he was going through YouTube comments looking for anything that the wife might have said in relation to any videos or anything relating to this. I don't know where he would even know that, the wife is making comments. How do you even know someone's YouTube? Like, why are you looking for her YouTube handle? What videos would the wife have been commenting under? I don't know. You know what I mean? Because I don't know what other videos are out there other than celebrity gossip that, that we're all out here covering. So I don't know what Stephen Gordon's wife, where she would have been making YouTube comments. But Stephen said that this is what Judge said to him, that I'm going to use these comments against you. And your wife waived her marital communications privileges, so I'm going to use this against you. Huh? So you're going to threaten me? Now, the privacy between me and my wife, our relationship, you're going to threaten whatever personal conversations that we've had, and you're going to try to use that against my client to disrupt her case. He said that's just too much, and he had considered, being removed from this case. So that's just the activity that is existing on that side of the fence. It's no wonder why he's an attorney for Nicki Minaj, because he's doing the same thing. Harassment, using bullying, cyber stalking tactics to harass. Like, what kind of comments could this woman have actually made on YouTube? You're going through looking for YouTube comments to use against them. It's just sick. What you guys talking about? All right, so let's go over these whole. All right, the narratives that are in the comments about Jenn made this, she made when she told her story, it doesn't add up, or she made this statement on this outlet, she made this statement on another. At the end of the day, all of this is legal. It's going to be in court, and whatever has been said is going to be brought up. Little nuances, and if this wasn't accurately put as far as a sentence goes or it's misplaced, that has nothing to do with the allegations. This is legal law. This is the court, not the court of public opinion. This is not going to be played out on YouTube streets, on YouTube court. It's going to be in the court of law. So we can't get our emotions and our feelings caught up in this. If this woman has been harassed by Nicki Minaj because they want her to recant her statement, she absolutely deserves her day in court, and she deserves to be heard. No matter whether or not you like her or you don't, she is still a woman and still a victim of a crime that occurred against her. And she feels as though she wants to have her day in court and be vindicated. And she should be deserving of that. Who are we to say whether she's not been harassed, whether it's 30 years ago, so get over it. That's not all that this case is about. This case is about being harassed and bullied online. That's what this is about. This is about that, as well as people reaching out to her, offering her family money, wanting her to recant her story. And we know that this is not a lie. We know that the incident occurred. Now, why would Nicki Minaj's attorney have any language in his mouth about settlement? You're trying to push our client back our client into a corner and get her to settle. Well, if none of this stuff has happened, if she was not harassed and Nicki has nothing to do with it, why would you even be entertaining the idea of settlement? How would Jenn be able to get a settlement out of this? You have to pay attention to what's being said. Why would he even have the word settlement? You wouldn't even have that in your mouth. So there is no extortion attempt. This is an attempt for a victim to have her day in court and let the court system decide whether or not she was harassed or not. But for us to be out here attacking each other and going off over a Nicki Minaj, you guys do too much for celebrities and people that you do not know. Fight for your own life. Half of y'all don't even fight for your own children in this manner. You don't even fight for your own families, your own marriages, your own relationships, for that matter, than to be worrying about a celebrity and whether or not she gets brought up on harassment charges. She's not going to jail. It's harassment. If this woman was harassed, give her her things. She deserves to be given whatever it is that she's asking for, because that's a lot to endure. And if you were asking a victim to recant, the audacity and the gall of a Nicki Minaj to feel as though she can contact a victim of this type of circumstance and ask them to recant. Now, the only thing that I've ever said about this was I would have never entertained that conversation if I was Jennifer. But I'm not Jennifer. This is my own commentary and my own thoughts. We're not Nicki Minaj. We're not Jennifer. We're not none of these people. You know? So that's the only thing that I said. I would have never entertained that conversation with Nicki Minaj. I was a victim. This happened to me, which is why she keeps saying that to her. I need you to know this happened to me, you know, in that conversation. And when it got to that point, Nicki hung up. Give me 1 second, guys. So, you know, at the end of the day, this is not over. Jennifer is going to be suing Nicki Minaj in California because of jurisdiction issues with New York. Now, some people are speculating that Jennifer will have to find other attorneys because Tyrone and Steven are not authorized. They don't have legal authority to practice. They're not licensed to practice in California. I don't know that. I do not know. Their website doesn't give that information, so I wouldn't know what their license is, if they're licensed to practice in other states. I've seen people making those comments, but how do you know? That's just your speculation. Unless you specifically have seen their credentials and you know exactly what states, you know, you've seen their licenses and you know where they're licensed to practice. I don't know what law, you know, where people get this information from, but this is a firm. She's not represented singly by them. This Tismengall and Associates is the firm that represents them. So if they're not, you know, legally able to practice in California, I'm pretty sure they know attorneys and they have relationships with attorneys in California and can point her in that direction. But I doubt that she does not have representation. I'm pretty sure if they've already, you know, explored, because they explored this before dropping it. So they knew that they were going to have to be able to practice in California. So I'm pretty sure they have attorneys in California. Woo! And wouldn't Nicki have to find a new attorney? No, she can use the same attorney. She would just, as long as he's able to practice in California. Jerica doesn't. Oh, okay, Monica, I see what you're doing. All right. So, that's really all I have at the moment. You know, this was information that we went through and, you know, looked at in the court case, and it's just really appalling that people that you don't know would be reaching out to you, DMing you, wanting you to die, you know, wishing death upon you. This girl talking about she got a witch and she would go to the depths of hell for Nicki Minaj. It just goes to show you that it's serious when you know, oh, why would Jenn move? I don't believe that she just packed up and moved. You getting messages like that and people saying that they want to kill you, you're getting death threats. That was just 5 or 6 messages. There's many more where that came from. Many more. You don't know what, I mean, you can be walking down the street one day and boom, someone walk up on you and want to do harm to you because of this. So this is very serious. Very serious. Have you ever seen, cases when people are murderers and their information is on the news, and then you see people standing outside, spray painting their house, they're picketing out front because they've killed someone or they've done some harm to a child or anything, or anyone for that matter. It don't have to be a child, it could be anyone. But people find out where they live at and they're camping outside of their house. That's the same thing that could happen with Jenn. She's suing Nicki Minaj. I mean, look at the Barbz. We see that the lengths that they say they're willing to go to. So they have her address. You don't think that I mean, come on, common sense. All right, so that's all I got, you guys. I don't have no more. Be sure to like this video, share the video, but most importantly, be sure to subscribe to the channel. We will keep you updated as we know more. When they file the lawsuit in California, I'll bring that to you. But as of right now, we don't have that. This is what we have. The nature of these attorneys that Nicki has, this Judd Bernstein, he's the same type of personality of her and Kenny, which is why I see why they're being represented by him. I mean, threatening and pulling this man's wife into it. She don't got nothing to do with this. This is a professional and legal case. What the hell does this man's wife and statements and comments that she making on YouTube have to do with anything? Then you're going to lie and say that she waived. They're not divorced, separated, or anything. So why would she waive her marital communication privileges? Like, what? And then you lie and say and tell him that she did? Like, what? What? Where did you think that was okay? I mean, what? And then the sanctions that he wants to propose, that he's asking the court, they're just not even, they don't have any, no meat to them. They're like, oh, you didn't believe. I think the one was because of the jurisdiction. Judd wants them to be sanctioned, wants Jenn's team to be sanctioned because we told you in the beginning that New York wasn't going to be a jurisdiction, but you filed New York as one anyway. So we want you to be sanctioned for that. Like, what? No. It's just weird, at this point. I don't understand the personal connection. It's like giving me, do you and Steven have some type of personal situation going on outside of this case? Because the dynamic between the two, that fiery spirit that existed in their emails, I don't get it. Usually it's a professional atmosphere. They're able to work together, with scheduling and getting paperwork to each other. But they have been going at it from the start. All right. And it's probably because Judd's whole perspective of this is that, oh, it's a money grab. They're trying to extort Nicki Minaj, and never would consider that this is actually happening. Or do you know that it's actually happening? And so you're trying to push back, you know what I mean? Instead of, okay, it's your client, you're representing them. He's trying to push back with the same energy. It's giving harassment and extortion on his part as well. Blackmail on his part as well. So I don't, this is just not how lawyers usually communicate. But again, we're dealing with Nicki Minaj. So this must be a male Barb. Must be a male Barb. All right. So you guys, this has been another edition of the Sweet Pea Diaries. As I always say, this topic always gets people fiery and gets them upset. Please be courteous in the comment section, or I will shut them comments down like I always do. I will give y'all a break and time it out, because there's no reason to be disrespectful. We all can have healthy dialogue and communicate effectively without tearing each other down. Okay. All right. So this has been another edition. Please be sure to like this video, share this video, but most importantly, be sure to subscribe to the channel. And we out, y'all. Bye.
Check that mic, make sure it sound right.